Today we are back in Grand RP and we are going to be doing some more criminal activities. Now there is so many different things you could do in Grand RP in legal organizations and in illegal organizations, but in my opinion it's a lot more fun to be a criminal in this game. Today we are going to be robbing houses and crafting weapons, which is a lot of fun and can make you a very good amount of money. So with that said, I hope you go on to enjoy the video, and without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing is going to be robbing houses. It's a ton of fun, and you guys are really going to enjoy doing this because you can make a good amount of money, and you can do it solo whenever you want, which is awesome. The first thing you will need are crowbars. For every house you rob, you will need one crowbar, and that's what you use, I guess, to break open the doors. So go to a store and buy one. They're very cheap. Every 24/7 in the city will have them. As you can see, I have 5 on me right now. Another thing you'll need is a car with trunk space. The items that we're going to be stealing from the houses are TVs, boxes of stuff, and furniture, and each of those items individually weighs 80 kilograms, so you can only hold like 1, maybe 2 at a time. So you can see as soon as we enter the house, there are 5 of each of these. So what I decided to do is divide them all up individually, take 1 out at a time. Now I could hold 2, but you can see I already have 99 kilograms worth of stuff in my backpack, so I can't hold anything else. So I grab 1, walk back outside, go over to my trunk, put it inside the trunk, and then I go back inside the house, and I just take every single one of these items out and put them inside my trunk. And you want to do this as fast as you can, because I believe you only have about 5 minutes to actually get every item from the house. Now if you are going to be doing this, the items I would recommend stealing would be the TVs and the boxes of things. Steal either one of those first and then go for the furniture last, because it tends to sell for the least amount whenever you decide to sell it. Also, in order to actually rob houses, you're going to need to upgrade your house robbery skill, which can be found when you flex your M muscle and go over to my skills, and then you'll see it there, and you pretty much just pay to upgrade it. And once you do that, you'll be able to rob houses whenever you want. Now, there is somewhat of an issue with robbing houses. Number one, first off, if a house has insurance, it cannot be robbed, which is why a lot of people go to government and buy insurance. If you want to do that, just walk into government and be like, hey, I want to buy insurance for my house. They'll offer it to you, and then your house won't be robbed. And if your house does get robbed, you will have $150,000 worth of fines that you have to pay off, which is a lot of money, and obviously you don't want that to happen. But if you find a house that doesn't have insurance, then you could attempt to rob it. But if you click it and it says this house can be robbed in 5 days, 6 days, or 7 days, that's because it was just robbed recently, which kind of sucks for you because now you can't rob it. So what you want to do is kind of remember where those houses are that say this house can be robbed in 1 day or 2 days, because once you know where they are, you pretty much type them into your GPS. After those days have passed, you just head over to the house and then rob it. And the best part is the person doesn't even have to be in the city. They could fly out and never fly back into the game, and you could rob their house as many times as you want. They will come back to a hell of a lot of fines. What I would recommend doing, because this is exactly what I did, is go and get in a car, drive around the city, and go from house to house and try robbing each and every one of those houses. And if one house says this house can be robbed in a day or 2 days, I made a note on my phone and put the house number in. So then when those 2 days or that 1 day is up, I just head back over to the house and rob it. And by the way, when I say 1 day or 2 days, that expires after tsunami. So if it says 1 day until the house can be robbed, and it's like 2 hours before tsunami, if you come back to that house right after the tsunami hits, you can rob the house right after that, which is awesome. So I always try to find as many houses as I can that say this house can be robbed in 1 day. But honestly, you can make a decent amount of money from doing this. It's not going to be a crazy amount right at the start, but you'll make more than you would make being inside of a legal org, which is awesome. And I'll show you how much you make in just a few minutes. Like I said earlier, you could do this as much as you want. You can literally wake up, rob as many houses as you possibly can. The only thing that you need is crowbars. You buy 20 crowbars, that means you can go and rob 20 different houses. The thing is, you can only hold 5 crowbars at a time. So maybe take 5, throw them in the back of your trunk, take 5 and hold them in your inventory, so then you have 10, and then just go and rob 10 houses. Then go buy some more crowbars. Make sure you're putting all of the items inside the back of your trunk in your own car, and then you want to head over to Black Market. But just before we head to Black Market, we're going to go ahead and craft some guns. I cannot tell you the amount of times people come up to me and ask for guns, because there's so many ways you can get them. You can get them at Black Market, buy them for very cheap prices, and obviously they'll be illegal, or go to a gun store and pay a little bit more. Or of course you can craft them, like I'm about to do here. What you want to do is go over to where the weapon assembly place is on your map. It's this little target that you see. You'll see it right when I show you guys in a couple of seconds. But first you need to get weapon components in order to craft the weapons. It makes complete sense. So in order to get these weapon components, you can go and buy them from Black Market if somebody's selling them, which is awesome because then you can go and craft your own weapons, and if you want to, you could sell them to people, or, you know, you can keep them and use them yourself. So what you need to do is take part in the event at 2030 server time called leftover components. Now in this event, there will be 6 different locations that you have to go to, and they will all be showcased right here where this is. The picture where that question mark is, you have to locate it. It's great for me because I played GTA 5 for a long time, so whenever that location pops up, I know exactly where I need to go. So pretty much what you need to do, head over to that location, you'll see some parachutes sitting around, and after 3 minutes, then you're able to walk inside the parachutes and you'll see all of these weapon components that I have that I'm putting in my inventory right now. You want to grab as many of these as you can because the more you grab, the better it is for you. And most of these guns require at least 2 or 3 different components to make. Like for instance, the shotgun only takes 2, but the assault rifle takes 3. There will be other people trying to get these components as well. Not just the components, there's a ton of ammo in there, there's other weapons, body armor, and stuff like that that will be inside of these, parachutes. You can also find some super rare ones like heavy sniper components. If you're able to build a heavy sniper, you could sell that thing for $300,000, which is insane. But once you have your components, come on over to this guy that is inside of the weapon assembly area and pretty much click on the guns that you want to craft. Certain ones you'll be able to craft, like for instance, the PDW submachine gun. I can craft a bunch of these, so I just keep clicking assemble an item. Since I also have Prime, the weapons are made instantly. If I don't, then it's going to take a little while to make them. But you pretty much want to assemble as many of these weapons as you can. Once you use up all your components, you'll most likely have a few left over. So with those extra ones, you can either store them in your warehouse or your car, or what you could do is sell them off in the black market and people will buy them because they might need those components as well, and then they can go and build guns. But you pretty much just do this as much as you can, collect all the guns, and then go take a look at how many you have. After I was done, I made a bunch of weapons. Like you could see here, I made a couple submachine guns, like 15 pistols, 15 shotguns, 10 assault rifles, and 1 other vintage pistol. But that's pretty insane. Like, that's a decent amount of stuff. And the thing is, we didn't even technically win leftover components. Like, we managed to actually get like 4 or 5 parachutes out of the total of 30 that actually spawned. And that's how many guns I got. That's a pretty damn decent amount, if I had to say so myself. So if you guys are in families, head on over there and take part in this event because you can get all these leftover components and then, come on over to this building and assemble these weapons, and then you don't need to buy them. But now that you have these guns, you can either use them or you could sell them, which is what we're going to do. So like I said at the beginning, in order to sell these things that you stole from the houses or the guns, you head on over to Black Market. Now what you want to do in here is once you get here, start emptying the stuff from your trunk and putting it into your inventory. Don't forget some of those items weigh a lot, so clear out your inventory a little bit. Try to store 2 items if you have a level 4 backpack. Anyways, once you grab the items, run on over to Richard Rich and tell him about the house robbery. And then go ahead and click sell stolen, and then you could see you could sell TVs, furnitures, and the boxes of stuff. Now those prices will change every single hour. Obviously, if you want to check out the prices, head on over to the Grand RP Discord, go to the server EN. Of course, if you play on a different server, go to that specified server, and then just go and look at the resellers chat, and then go to the sellers of stolen goods, and then you'll see exactly what each of these items sell for every single hour. Sometimes certain things will be high, other ones will be very low. It all depends on what they're buying them for that hour, I guess. That's why I always say, take the TVs and take the boxes of stuff because they tend to sell for the most of the time, unlike the furniture, which tends to sell for fairly low prices. But in total, I robbed 3 houses, and from that I made $22,572, which is pretty great. It took me 15 minutes to rob 3 houses. So if you guys were able to find a whole bunch of houses, make a list of them, realistically, you can make a lot of money. Pretty much each house, depending obviously which hour it is, you'll be able to make about $7,500 from each of those, which is a very, very good amount of money. Theoretically, if you were to rob 15 houses, which you could do in a total of 1 hour, you can make about $112,000 in just 1 hour. Don't forget, being the chief of police, you'd be lucky to make $35,000. And being one of the highest ranks in EMS, I believe their highest paycheck ever was close to $60,000 in 1 hour, and that's obviously grinding a lot. So you can make a bucket load of money robbing houses. But obviously, like I said, you're going to need to find the locations first, because if you go house to house consistently, you'll just see a bunch of houses that say this house can be robbed in 5 days, 7 days, or it has insurance. So write down the houses that say, the house can be robbed in a day or 2 days. And then after a day has passed, or once tsunami hits, right after that, go and rob the house, get all this stuff, and then you could sell it all at once, or you could sell each item at a specific time. Like maybe one day, TVs will sell for a lot, and then another day, Furniture will sell for a ton, so you could hold on to it for as long as you can. Just find when the prices are high, and that is when you want to sell. And then in terms of selling those weapons that you just crafted, if you want to, of course, just talk to the guy and be like, hey, I want to rent a shop, and then scroll through them until you find one that, is green, just like these ones over here. Once you find the shop that you want to rent, just select it and specify the amount of hours that you want to rent it for between 1 and 3, and then just head over to the shop and start putting all the ammunition in that you want, start putting in the guns, vehicle scanners, pretty much anything that's illegal you could sell at black market. And obviously, if you don't know the prices, go and look around black market to see what they sell for. Like for instance, I took 100 assault rifle ammo and I put it up for $2,500. Thank God it didn't sell, because 100 assault rifle ammo can easily sell for like $5 grand. Very easily. So then I listed it up for that afterwards. And then I took pump shotguns, put them up for like 5K because I just wanted some quick money. It all depends on what you want to sell them for. And of course, you can also sell those leftover components that you have if you want to, and people will buy them. But just make sure you know exactly what you're selling them for, because certain items won't sell for a ton, like a regular assault rifle that might sell for like 6 grand. And then like 15 rev ammo, that might sell for like 4 grand. It all depends on the demand at that time. Like for instance, during Purge, you can upsell all of these things because people will come here and buy a lot of shit. Just like I did. I spent millions of dollars at black market in the past just buying stuff for the Purge, and people raise their prices for that stuff. So you could save all of this kind of stuff and wait until then if you feel like it, but it's up to you. Anyways, I just wanted to showcase this stuff for you guys because I thought it was really cool. You can make some decent money from doing it. Obviously, you're selling everything at the end. So in 1 hour, you can make a very, very good amount of money from robbing houses. And of course, if you can craft weapons, you could sell them all, or you could put them in your own family warehouse and let your own family use them so you don't have to go out and buy guns yourself. It is very, very useful, and hopefully this video helped you guys out if you're looking for something fun to do in Grand RP where you would also make some pretty decent money. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and with that said, I will catch you guys in the next video.